Welcome back to another video all about Internet Computer Protocol and our price prediction for the height of the next bull market. As always, before we jump into the topic of today's video, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video below if you enjoy it. Make sure you're subscribed because we are dropping multiple new videos every single week, and you're going to want to be subscribed and hit the bell notification icon so you can get updated every time we drop a new video, as we stay on top of the fast-moving crypto and Bitcoin space. So let's jump into today's video for our ICP price prediction. And I think the first thing to do, as always, is to just set a bit of a precedence for what ICP is and understand the fundamentals about Internet Computer Protocol and what they are trying to do. So if you've started doing some research on ICP yourself, you will probably notice and begin to notice as you do some research that the ICP protocol and the technology behind the project is extremely powerful. At least, you know, a lot of the nuances around what they're trying to do, and with a lot of different use cases, there is an underlying technology behind ICP that is, and would, at least it seems to be, extremely powerful. So I think as you begin to explore that, you will understand it. But on their website, they basically say that ICP adds autonomous serverless cloud functionality to the public internet. So the founder and the CEO of ICP basically describes it as kind of this decentralized intranet, or an extension of the intranet in a decentralized manner. And I think about it, and based on a lot of the stuff that I understand about ICP, I think one of the best ways to kind of grasp an understanding of it and the potential of it is around decentralized cloud services and this kind of concept of blockchain as a service. So if you're familiar with the software as a service industry as a whole, you know, creating SaaS businesses and, you know, the likes of Oracle and Salesforce, and, you know, you've got these giants in the SaaS space, but you've also got hundreds and thousands of other software as a service type of businesses like Zoom, you know, like Zapier, and all these other services that are providing a service to end consumers through software on the cloud. So what ICP is trying to do is they want to create a decentralized and open serverless cloud for businesses and people to build software on top of. So you can almost think about ICP as a decentralized version of something like Amazon Web Services. And as we will look at in a moment, the market size and the potential there is very, very big. And we've done other videos on this channel as well, talking about DePIN and decentralized physical infrastructure. And again, ICP and the Internet Protocol essentially fit under this DePIN category as one of the potentially largest projects in the decentralized physical infrastructure space. So again, the Internet Computer adds autonomous serverless cloud functionality to the public internet, making it possible to build almost any system or service entirely on a decentralized network using canister software and evolution of smart contracts. So again, I think the easiest way to think about it, without getting into too much of the technical jargon, is like a decentralized version of AWS, Amazon Web Services. So we just mentioned DePIN and decentralized physical infrastructure, and ICP is not on this particular chart. This chart is actually taken from a Messari report at the end of 2023. But the purpose of this graph is to kind of illustrate how many of the projects in the DePIN sphere have the potential to create much better efficiencies of scale and much better economics when it comes to decentralized storage versus something like Amazon S3 and AWS. So the graph here is basically explaining that Amazon Web Services, if you build applications or you're building things on top of Amazon S3, your monthly storage cost per terabyte of storage is going to be about $23 per terabyte. Whereas as we move into this world of Web3 and decentralized physical infrastructure and decentralized servers and this serverless cloud, what we are going to be seeing is significant reductions in the cost per terabyte of storage across serverless cloud infrastructure. And some of these other projects like Filecoin, Sia, and Arweave are also in this kind of decentralized physical infrastructure space. And again, the purpose of this graph is to just illustrate how much cheaper the monthly storage costs are per terabyte on these serverless, decentralized solutions versus centralized traditional infrastructure like Amazon S3. So that kind of is painting the picture on, what ICP is. It's obviously an oversimplification, but if you go onto their website and take a look at what they're doing, they describe themselves as Cypherspace as a cloud, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of different use cases, with their ecosystem. They've got a lot of different things being built on top of ICP, with smart contracts, with different decentralized messaging platforms. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can take a look at. But again, all of this is being done in a decentralized cloud manner. So before we move on to the actual price prediction, we're going to take a look at the tokenomics. And the tokenomics, and there's a bit of a story behind everything that has gone on here with ICP over the past few years. And you'll notice if we zoom in that the current price today of ICP is about $13.28. Okay. Now, upon token launch, ICP launched in May of 2021, which you could argue was a very bad time to actually launch a project because Bitcoin was putting in new all-time highs in May of 2021. And there was a lot of hype and hysteria in the market. And, it doesn't give us a full market cycle overview when it comes to ICP in the previous bull cycle. And what we saw basically was we saw ICP's all-time high essentially occur in the days, in the day it launched and the very few days in the immediate aftermath of the launch. And everything since then has been a big downtrend until Q4 of 2023, and we saw a market bottom, and we've seen it begin to pick up again, going from just under around the $4 mark back up to above $13 where we sit today. Now, there is a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of insights as to why this happened and how it happened. And there was a lot of hype around ICP at the time, and Coinbase, Binance, and FTX at the time all announced that they were listing ICP on May 10th for its launch. And FTX actually opened up futures trading 4 days before the launch of ICP, which meant that people were actually able to create futures positions on ICP before it even launched and before it even got listed on Binance, Coinbase, or FTX. People were actually able to trade futures in the days leading up to its launch, which a lot of people speculate led to this massive surge and a massive candle wick on the day of its launch, and basically drove the price up way too high. And then we saw a big kind of crash in the aftermath of that. Now, Bitcoin obviously put in all-time highs in May 21 and then had a big correction before going on to have all-time highs at the end of 2021 again. But this big drop-off in the months of May and June and July very much kind of followed the overall market. So not the most ideal timing and not the most ideal launch for ICP at the time. But as we said, the technology underneath this project is very powerful. And a couple of other things to note here are around the circulating supply at the time of launch versus the circulating supply that we have now. So if we go over here and take a look at Coinbase back when it actually launched. So this was the week that ICP launched, and you can see that ICP had a market cap and hit a market cap of about $28 billion. However, the circulating supply in that week of launch was only 124 million ICP. Okay, so since May of 2021 to today, February of 2024, ICP has the supply of ICP and the circulating supply has basically gone from 124 million all the way up to 457 million. So looking at the current price and the all-time high versus the circulating supply now and what it was back then, we've basically got 3.7 times more ICP in circulation today versus that all-time high in May of 2021. And all of this is important to take into consideration as we make a price prediction, because basically, even if ICP is to go and hit its same market cap of around 28 to 30 billion, its market cap all-time high as it was here, it would have to do a lot more work in order to get there, because there are so many more tokens in the circulating supply now than there was versus 2021. So the other thing, a couple of things to note here, we have that 30 billion market cap basically the day that it launched and the week that it launched, and we had that price of over $240, even higher on the candle wick on certain exchanges. So all of this is important because we need to factor it into our price prediction. And as we move over to that now, we're going to look at three different scenarios. So first up, we've got our base case scenario. It's also worth noting before we jump into this the bear case, is ICP's dominance in terms of overall market dominance at its all-time high was also up over 1.15 to 1.2% overall market dominance. Now, again, can we reach that dominance? I don't know. It's going to be very, very difficult for it to do so, given all the hype that was surrounding the launch, given all the listings on Coinbase, Binance, and FTX at the time that drove that market dominance so high that it may have been artificially inflated, and that's what the market would suggest in the aftermath of the launch. So we're going to be a little bit more conservative when it comes to these price prediction scenarios, and what we're basically saying with the bear case is that the total crypto market cap of all the coins in circulation, of all the crypto coins, would be about $4 trillion in total. If ICP captures about a 0.7 dominance in terms of the overall market, then that would give it about a 28 billion market cap, which would be actually around the exact same market cap that it was at when it hit those all-time highs of $242 at the peak last time when it launched. But as you can see, that only gives us about a $57.73 price prediction because we've got so many more coins in circulation. The other assumption that we're baking in here, and again, with all of these price predictions, we have to make certain assumptions because we cannot know all of these variables for certain, but what we're saying is that the circulating supply will go from 457 million today to about 485 million by the height of the next bull run, which we estimate happening in the second half of 2025. So we're saying that between now and the second half of 2025, we're going to have an extra 25 odd million ICP in the circulating supply, which will contribute to this price estimate in a bear case scenario of $57.73. For our base case scenario, we are putting in an assumption for the crypto total market cap to reach $6 trillion overall. We're giving ICP the same dominance at about a 0.7% dominance, and at a 0.7% dominance and 6 trillion overall market cap, that gives us an ICP market cap of about $42 billion. Dividing that by the amount of ICP we estimate to be in circulation, that gives us a base case price target of about $86.59, which is about a 6.5x price from today's price of about $13.30. Finally, moving on to our bull case scenario, we are plugging in the numbers for the total crypto market cap to reach about $8 trillion overall. We're saying that ICP might be a little bit more bullish and achieve about a 0.75% dominance. That would give it a 60 billion overall market cap. And That gives us about a $123.71 US cents price prediction for ICP in our bull case scenario. That gives us about a 9.25x from today's price of $13.30. And a lot of people might argue that ICP is going to go a lot higher, and I do think it has the potential to go a lot higher than this number. I'm just not sure if it can happen in this next bull run. It might be, 3 or 4 years from now before it's able to hit those much higher prices, above $300, $400. But we've tried to be realistic, and obviously it's difficult with a project like ICP, which launched basically in the middle of the last bull run, where we have not really been able to see a lot of price discovery or upwards price discovery for ICP since its launch, because it has been in such a big downtrend since May of 2021. And again, there was a number of factors contributing to that, like the futures and the listings and the hype around the exchanges. So we are only beginning to see upwards price discovery for ICP since Q4 of 2023. And it's beginning to move upwards, and it has done a 3x since its low at the bottom of $4 in Q3 of 2023 or Q4 of 2023. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of prices it can put in by the end of 2024. And then thinking about these price predictions for the end of 2025, when we would expect it to potentially be hitting its all-time highs. So again, I'm looking forward to doing even more research on ICP, diving deeper into all of the technology behind the project. I do think the technology fundamentally is extremely powerful, and if ICP can truly be a cornerstone of the decentralized physical infrastructure market and take away market share from the likes of Amazon AWS and Amazon S3, then it has a very big use case. And I know it's not the only use case, but in my mind, it's one of the biggest potential ones for it. And I think the price action would have a very positive effect if it can properly take some of that market share from Amazon. So I'm super excited to keep learning more about it. I think a lot of people are even more bullish than I am about it. Perhaps I'll be more bullish after doing even more research. But for now, this is the numbers that I'm running with. If you enjoy these videos, as always, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video below. Make sure you are subscribed. We are dropping multiple videos every single week with everything to do with updates in the crypto and Bitcoin space. So if you don't want to miss any videos, make sure you hit the bell notification icons and make sure you are subscribed below. We will catch you in the next one.